What's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Action Jackson. And in today's video, man, I'm going to be breaking some harsh news about the Dallas Cowboys. Nothing too bad, but just something a little minor, some injuries and suspension. And then the second part of the video, I'm going to be going over that a lot of people, like how I was saying last night on the app of Twitter, they were saying that Zeke is washed and is trash. So I'm gonna come here and I'm with some stats and some real statistics, and I'm gonna show you guys on why that is false, and that's a false narrative being thrown around. So hey, man, let's hop into the video, man. Let's get it. So the first breaking news with the Dallas Cowboys, man, is that Michael Gallup is going to be out with a calf strain. Yes, he's going to be out with a calf strain. If you guys watched the game last night, which was a lot of people, Michael Gallup hurt his calf. It was labeled as an ankle injury in the third quarter, and then we saw him sideline and we saw him giggling and stuff on the sideline, so we thought it wasn't as bad. But the report came out today that he's out for 3 to 5 weeks, which to me isn't all that bad, because if you look at our schedule, for the time for him to come back in 3 weeks, he would be eligible to come against the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, he'll be able to come back against the Carolina Panthers October 3rd. But if he cannot, if he won't make it to the October 3rd and they want to rest him a little bit more, he can either come back against the Giants a week later after the Panthers, or he can come 2 weeks later from the Panthers game to the Patriots game. So we're eyeing him to either be between that. I don't think they're trying to rush him back. Rushing him back will be like around that third week mark. So I don't think they're gonna bring him back against the Panthers. I think they bring him back either against the Giants or the New England Patriots. One of those two games. But if we don't really need receiving help, we're probably just gonna wait until that bye week, because we have a bye week after the Patriots, which is Week 8, I believe. So we have a Week 7 bye. We play the Vikings Week 8 on Halloween. So that's like the latest we see Michael Gallup come, which I don't think will happen. So I see him coming either between the Patriots or the Giants game. So what that means for us as a receiving corps, not much. You still have Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown. You still have Blake Jarwin, Dalton Schultz, and then you can even bring up a roster spot for the wide receiver if you want to bring in like a Malik Turner or a Simi Fehoko. You'll be fine at wide receiver. I'm not really too tripping off receiver. I like Ced Wilson bringing in the slot. He'll be fine. Of course, yeah, we're gonna miss Gallup, but it's fine. We don't really need him for these next couple of opponents. Honestly, we're gonna see how the rest of what these teams look like Week 1. And I understand you don't always, Week 1 doesn't always tell that it's not the end all be all. So we'll see what some of these teams shape up to look like when we go up against some of these guys, like the Chargers. We don't we don't need much receivers against Philly in their secondary. Neither would Panthers. They're really young, so we don't have to worry about their secondary. Giants, they're nice or whatever, but we're going to see what Denver does to them this Sunday. Then you got us against the Patriots. You got Stephon Gilmore. It's going to be a good game. So of course, we're going to miss Michael Gallup. Hopefully, he comes back stronger and better than ever. So he's fine on that. So let's head into the next piece of news, man. Next piece of news is that our right tackle, La'el Collins, is going to be missing. He has a 5-game suspension. They're blaming it on PEDs. I already know the false narrative. People think that if you hear the word PEDs, performance-enhancing drug, people automatically assume that it's steroids, and it's not, because if you read right here, shout out to Cowboys Network. Forgot to label that first off. Shout out to Cowboys Network, man, for the news on Instagram. But if you see right here, Cowboys right tackle La'el Collins was suspended for missing drug tests. So if you miss too many drug tests, that's like not showing up and not doing your thing, peeing in the cup and all that. So of course he can go ahead and appeal it, but if he doesn't win, we're not tripping, because like I said, Tampa is the only front seven that we're not going to see another front seven at all throughout the entire time that we play football. I'm not Washington does not scare me. So you can come. So people can come in the comment section and say Washington, but Washington is not valid to me. So if so, looking at it right now, I mean Chargers are the Chargers have one. Chargers had a good line. They have a good line with Joey Bosa, Jerry Tillery. They have some nice pieces to the defensive end spot. Panthers are really young. They got Yurter, Gross Matos. They got Son Reddick, Brian Burns. They're really solid, but nothing like Tampa. Philly, nothing like Tampa. New York, they're cool, but they don't have edge rushers like that. Patriots, they're solid. And Vikings, they're all right. So basically, just to fix this spot at right tackle, just put Zach Martin right there. That's what all of us. That's what most of us are saying in the Cowboys Central. Some people want to say like, oh, have Terrence Steele. Whoever says Terrence Steele, man, you're tripping. And people want to say Ty Nsekhe. Nope. I'm putting our best offensive lineman, Zach Martin, at right tackle, kicking him to right tackle. Have him play out those couple weeks. Don't worry, because by the time since he's gonna miss 5 games, if he doesn't get the appeal, if he appeals and he wins, he'll come back against the Chargers. But if he appeals and he doesn't get it, it's the 5 games are still gonna apply on. So apply on to the Chargers when we play them on the 19th. So he'll miss the Chargers game, the Eagles game, Panthers, Giants, Patriots, and he'll come back after our bye week against the Vikings. So, and if you look at both Michael Gallup and Leo Collins, you look at both of those guys, you figure if you include the 5 games for Leo Collins, you include the 5 games for Michael Gallup, basically you're going to have your entire offense back week 8. But I really believe that we're going to have everybody back before then. Because I believe that Michael Gallup will be back, like I said, between the Giants and Patriots game. And I believe that Leo Collins, he can appeal this suspension ban and be back before he doesn't have to serve those 5 games. But like I said, if we're looking at a worst case scenario and we have to wait for all those guys to week 5, we're fine. Cedric Wilson's going to next man up. We're fine. I'm fine with that. You move, Dallas is smart, you move Zach Martin to right tackle, and your starting 5 at your offensive line would just be left tackle, Tyron, of course, healthy. Left guard, Connor Williams. Center Tyler Biadasz. Right guard, Connor McGovern. And then right tackle, Zach Martin. And you'll be fine right there. And you'll be able to whoop on everybody else like the Chargers, Eagles, Panthers, Giants, Patriots, Vikings, man. Collins, that's a separate issue. But for Michael Gallup, you don't really want to, because you're playing against a lot of these tough physical teams, and every single team is going to be tough and physical. But you're playing Buccaneers. They're one of the most tough physical teams out there, man. So, you're going to expect a knick-knack injury from one of these guys, man. So, prayers up to Michael Gallup. Hopefully he comes back quicker. And, I don't want him to rush anything. Come back on time. Don't rush any sort of injury. I don't want nothing to get it worse. And we're going to need Michael Gallup for the stretch of this season, Like they say, man, this NFL season's a marathon, man, not a sprint. So we have that. Leo Collins, simple fix. When everybody's healthy, kick Zach Martin out to right tackle. I already named over the line. We'll be fine with that, man. So thank you guys for staying for the first part of the video. Now we're about to head into the second part, man. Let's get it. So after I just got doing my college homework, man, I was in this homework spirit, this research type of spirit, right? Last night, like I said, Twitter is a special place, and there's a lot of different like Madden content creators, everybody participating in, because it's the first real NFL season game, and it's the Cowboys and Bucks, and you already know people are going to critique both sides because people don't like Tom Brady and people hate the Dallas Cowboys. They hate both teams, so it was hard for either people to root for either team. So people said that Zeke is trash, Zeke is washed, everything, because he didn't run great against Tampa. No, he did not. But if you look right here, Pro Football Reference, I didn't use PFF. I ain't got time. I don't really want to look on their website. But I was using Pro Football Reference for like a good bit of last year. So, when I was doing like homework for like high school and things like that. So, and I found out that Pro Football Reference is a pretty good site. I like their research, man. I like it. It's good to look at. So All right, so if you look at the screen right here, and if on the top you see where I have it says like 2020 Bucks statistics, then if you go over to games and schedules right there, and you look below that, it says Y/A. That's yards attempt, yards per attempt. So if you look at not the team, because that's for the Bucks themselves, but if you look below that 3 point that you see that 3.6 right there, that's Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, you know what they did? Ain't nobody did a damn thing running the ball against them. 3.6 yards? Zeke got that yesterday. He got 3.3 yesterday. So, I did a little bit more digging because now this is perspective that Zeke is trash. So, I highlighted, I wrote down everybody's stats that people think that who are better than Zeke. I wrote down everybody who had, I wrote down everybody who rushed against, I wrote down everybody who ran against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I highlighted on my separate sheet of paper. So, week 1, they played the New Orleans Saints. You saw they got whooped. What was the score on that game? Where it says opponent. Okay, got it. So, yeah, they lost 34-23. Okay, cool. So, even though Tampa Bay got their ass whooped, Alvin Kamara only got 16 yards. The next, people say that AK is better than Zeke, which they're two different sort of backs. So I don't understand how that can even be an argument. So okay, so Alvin Kamara, they said who was better than Zeke, only ran for 16 yards. Zeke ran for 33. Last time I checked, 33 is greater than 16. Okay, next opponent. CMC. They say CMC is the best running back in the league. And same thing, different running back than Zeke. But, I mean, yeah, they both can run in between the tackles, guards. But the only element that CMC has over Zeke is catching the ball. But I believe that Zeke can be just as good as CMC. But, see, we don't use Zeke like how we do, like how the NFC South uses our running backs. And then the NFC South, as you see, is sort of a theme in the NFC South. You see how they use their running backs as not only as running backs, but they use them as receivers as well. So, CMC, he did his thing, 59 yards. What was the score on that game? Carolina got whooped, 31-17. Okay, cool. So, garbage time rushing yards. Okay, cool. So, they're only going to put the prevent sort of defense, like people like to say. All right, cool. You guys like to use that prevent defense type of, sort of language on us? Okay, that's fine. I'm going to use it for other teams as well. Okay. Melvin Gordon, not better than Zeke. Everybody knows that. If you're going to say that, you're a troll or you're a diehard Bronco fan, so there's nothing to really go up against there. Melvin Gordon, 26 yards. Austin Eckler, not better than Zeke, 12 yards. David Montgomery for the Bears. That was the Tom Brady forgot what down it was. So you look at David Montgomery, 29 yards. Ooh. Okay, week 6 against the Green Bay Packers, and they say that Aaron Jones is a better running back than Zeke. Aaron Jones, 15 yards. 15 yards. Wow. And Aaron Jones supposed to be better than Zeke? Yeah, Then the person who actually led them on that night was Jamal Williams with 34 yards. Nothing. Okay, Josh Jacobs. I love Josh Jacobs. To me, man, I really love Josh Jacobs. I believe he's a top 10 back in my book. And the only people who are going to say Josh Jacobs is better than Zeke is diehard Raider fans who have that mentality. Is Raiders versus the world. But if you're looking at a realistic person, a realistic Raider fan, or anything like that, people are going to say Zeke is better than Josh Jacobs. Okay. Josh Jacobs, 17 yards. Okay. Alvin Kamara, again, played in week 8. This is the time where they whooped him, and it was 38-3. Shoo. Okay. Alvin Kamara, 40 yards. Okay, cool. Taysom Hill, he's our utility guy. He's not a running back at all, but he had 54 rushing yards that night. Week 9, it was against the Giants. They didn't have Saquon Barkley, and people love to say that Saquon Barkley is one of the best running backs in the league, but he's definitely better than Zeke. Didn't play that day, so I can't really get on him about health. I'm not going to get on him about that. Mike Davis missed the Mike Davis. So this is when Mike Davis was part of the Carolina Panther organization. 32 yards. He's not better than Zeke. Everybody knows that. Malcolm Brown for the, let's see, week 11. Okay, Los Angeles Rams. They beat them by 3. 20 yards. Nothing. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, not better than Zeke. Everybody knows that. 37 yards. Nothing. Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is the only person in this entire list to rush for more yards than anybody on here. But Dalvin Cook ran for 102. People say that he's better than Zeke. I don't believe so, but Dalvin Cook he did put on display last year and he balled out. So I'm not going to discredit. I love Dalvin Cook also, another baller, but to me he's not better than Zeke. But if you want to make the argument, that's cool because Dalvin Cook, he is more elusive than Zeke, but that's fine. So Dalvin Cook ran for 102. But if you look at the box score of Tampa Bay was kicking Minnesota's ass. So next, that's good. You ran for 102, but guess what? Dallas played a closer game. So that 102, that 102 yards, that don't mean nothing to me. Okay, Ito Smith. Not gonna make fun of the brother's name. That's his name. 24 yards, nothing. DeAndre Swift, rookie, 45 yards, nothing. Didn't win. In fact, the score on that game was 47-7. That's when the Bucks played the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions are going to be the Detroit Lions. And then to week 17, doesn't matter. They win this game. It was a blowout. It was 47. Let me double check and make sure. Yeah, my bad. It was 44-27. It was a blowout. 94 yards, garbage time rushing yards. They ain't going to try hard and injure their players. Moral of the story is nobody in the I highlighted, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I highlighted 5 running backs that people say are better than Zeke. The 5 I highlighted were AK, CMC, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, and Dalvin Cook. There's only one person on this list that can argue that you can have a great argument against me with Dalvin Cook, being the best one on this list. But everybody else cannot run the ball against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is the moral of the story. I believe they will sustain this yards. I believe it might even go lower because looking at their schedule, they play the Rams again. But if you look at Tampa Bay's schedule for this year, let me pull it up real quick on my end. You're not going to be able to see it on your guys's, and you guys can look that up. We all have Google. So you look at Tampa Bay. Okay, yep, they beat the Cowboys week 1. Okay. So, rushing team. Rams, that's a good rushing threat. Falcons, no. Patriots, no. Dolphins, no. Eagles, hell no. Bears, no. Saints, maybe. Washington, no. New York, no. Colts have a nice shot because Colts have a top 5 offensive line when healthy. Buccaneer, oh my bad, I'm tripping. They can't run on themselves. Okay, Falcons, no. Bills, no. Saints, no. Panthers, maybe. Jets, hell no. And Panthers 10 off their season. So the only people I see running on them for maybe a decent amount of yards is only the Colts. But I believe the Colts are the only team that can match personnel for personnel on that defensive line. And that might even be a tough schedule that might even be a tough assignment for that Colts offensive line. So, moral of the story is, Zeke is not washed. He just went up against a really great front 7. And like I said in my preview video on Wednesday, the 8th, what gives the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this 2002 mentality that they're really great on the defensive side of the football is their front 7. So, before anybody wants to talk that shit to me or any Dallas Cowboy fan, make sure you guys have some stats in front of you to let you know why Zeke is washed before you guys want to make any sort of statements like that. So, thank you guys for tuning in, watching the video. Just make a word of advice today. Make sure if you're going to talk to anybody in this NFL world, make sure you guys know what you guys are talking about. Because some people will really get exposed on this app. So yeah, thank you guys. Have a nice day. Bye.